Hello everyone, Mike the MC, bringing another self-care video. Today I'm going to share with you number 214 of the Catechism with respect to God as love and truth, and how love and truth, those two pieces are really inspirational as far as building blocks to loving God, but also loving who you are and loving other people, how your life has gone. And maybe people don't see how your life was supposed to be, but then who was to say supposed to be? Right? What was supposed to happen or what was not supposed to happen? The what ifs, and how those what ifs can really set us back if we're not careful with how we understand things. And so let us pray to God and ask for the clarity. Okay, why did these things happen in life as so? Why did I not understand, but now I do? Help me to see and clarify my intentions, my actions, so that way everything I do is pure and I know what I'm doing with each step. So let me share with you number 214 of the Catechism with respect to God as far as who he is as truth and love. That's section 3. So 214 states the following. God, who he is, revealed himself to Israel as the one abounding in steadfast love and faithfulness. These two terms express summarily the riches of the divine name. In all his works, God displays not only his kindness, goodness, grace, and steadfast love, but also his trustworthiness, constancy, faithfulness, and love, and truth. I give thanks to your name for your steadfast love and your faithfulness. He is the truth, for God is light, in him and there is no darkness. God is love, as the Apostle John teaches. No darkness, right? God is all illuminated, right? So full of truth and love, that the love and the truth will work together, and those two steadfast together can really help you understand why things are happening as they are. People say, oh, well, why did the pandemic happen around the world? Okay, why did that happen at this time? Okay, why did some countries suffer with economic collapses? Why did some people get assassinated? Okay, why are some people just targets of somebody by somebody else at these moments of our lives, right? Why is hatred so real? Well, the hatred, the jealousy, all that envy, right? So much of that just comes back to a reflection of a lack of love for self, fear that we're not going to have our wishes granted because we're afraid somebody else is going to take them from us. Get that girl, get that guy, get that business, get that job, get this benefit, yada, yada, yada. And you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be left behind the scene because somebody else beat me to it. And so competition is good, to strive for what is great, to push yourself to be good. Now, the other thing to be wary of, competition for what is valuable can destroy other people in the process. And so the thing with God is the idea of heaven bringing everybody up. The competition is for you yourself to see that you can be good and accept love. And with all the goods and ups and downs, you yourself can make it up there. It is your personal competition, your personal moment to let go of the bitterness and the hatred. And I think when, as humanity is trying to strive throughout the centuries, maybe we do find world peace, maybe some times of our lifetimes we may not see it as much as other lifetimes, but maybe as part of the challenge in the battle, it reflects back to us where you and I have to step up against corruption and bad things in life, become leaders. I mean, who of us have thought about being a mayor or a judge or some sort of public figure that's like, wow, okay, I stood up for justice today. It's hard to stand up for justice because everyone points the finger at that person and says, oh, look at that, they're just a boring civilian that's trying to do good things. They became a cop, counselor, social worker. I know, now I'm pointing back to me. They became somebody that's so, just a boring profession. But here's the thing though. The boring profession may be so to some people, but the necessity of us is still a necessity, right? So there's value in that. And so then you could say, okay, well then what about being a parent in this regard? I don't have to be a professional doctor. I don't have to be a professional medic to do good. And that's true. So always go back to yourself and your personal abilities. Think about what it is that you want to stand up for, your values. And that is the true, wonderful thing about God. His love and truth are just the best values that I would argue that I can reflect on, bring them into my life and allow them to trickle down through the dividends in other parts of my house, my home, for my kids, for my business, etc., etc. So when you go for the source, allow the source to nourish you and everything about you. And from those dividends, that idea of receiving benefits from a greater benefit, that is true. The fruits of something great. And so when you look to God for love and truth, allow Him to help you and your family and your situations as well. You'll become a good role model for other people. And people are saying, wow, where do you get your source? And for me, my inspiration, it's seeing the other person, that in them, there's God. Seeing God in the other person, because He made you and I, gave us our being, gave us our images, our abilities, etc. And so when you recognize that within each of us there's the Creator, it's a wonderful truth. And then the love is right there to recognize, okay, I respect you, respect myself, so let us go out there and be great. And I hope this one finds you well. All right, so I hope 214 of the Catechism finds you well today. I'm going to go help other clients today, going to go to my businesses, work with other people, and I hope everyone here is strong. And always remember, when you find the source, look at that source, look at its fruit, and hope for that the fruit will pay back dividends and trickle its benefits back into other parts of your life, like the rainstorm as another metaphor, that idea of receiving what is there. And you can bring those gifts to other people, and you and I could be great out there and be role models for others. Just something to think about. All right, everyone. Hope 214 finds you well today of the Catechism. Be strong out there. Don't give up. You got this. We're going to help other people. All right, everyone. Take care. Have a good one.